What is going on, you guys? Alright, so I've reviewed The Grinch from the 2000s Jim Carrey version of The Grinch. I could have swore I already reviewed this version, but apparently I didn't. So let me take y'all back to 1966, the original animated How the Grinch Stole Christmas. Let's get right into it. Okay, so the story is basically the same. The Grinch, who lives just north of Whoville, does not like Christmas. Like the Who's down in Whoville.
The Grinch hated Christmas the whole Christmas season.
Okay, so something important to note. The guy that made this movie with Dr. Seuss, Chuck Jones, worked for Warner Brothers for the longest time and gave us some of the most classic Looney Tunes cartoons. And when he asked Dr. Seuss, what color is the Grinch? Well, I'm gonna let Nostalgia Critic explain it.
For printing reasons, his books didn't allow much color. Chuck Jones eventually went with green. Green was a very unnatural color to see on a furry, hairy animal in nature.
I never thought of that.
It would be Christmas colors because he would be wearing the Santa outfit.
Okay, that makes sense.
He said it was the color of the worst used cars he ever drove.
Okay, that's a weird reason. And here I thought he was green because he's voiced by Frankenstein. Anyway, so when the Grinch is explaining how much he hates the noise, he finally just says, you know what? I'm going to stop Christmas from coming. But how? And so he dresses up like Santa Claus. And he takes his dog Max, makes him into a reindeer.
If I can't find a reindeer, I'll make one instead.
Oh, hell no. They go down into Whoville. And they steal everything from the trees, the tree decorations, the presents, obviously, and they leave nothing but a very small crumb, not even small for a mouse, not even big enough for a mouse. And once they come across this one house that has Cindy Lou Who.
Candy car, why? Why are you taking our Christmas tree?
He's caught. And he thinks of a lie and says, oh, my sweet tot, there's a light on this tree that won't light on one side. So I'm gonna take it to my workshop, my dear. Oh, I'll take it up there, then bring it back here. The narrator says that Cindy Lou Who is no older than 2, which explains why she believes such a BS lie like that. But yet, in the Jim Carrey version, she's at least like 6 or 7. And she'll at least be smart enough to know, like, hey, this guy's lying to me. But I digress. So he sends her to bed. And then he continues stealing Christmas. Then, once he brings all the presents and all the trees and all the decorations up to Mount Crumpet, he's about to push it over the edge of the mountain, and all of a sudden he hears the Who singing their Christmas song. I would play it, but copyright.
Christmas perhaps means a little bit more.
And can we take a moment just to acknowledge all the warm colors in the background showing his progression into loving Christmas and accepting, hey, they don't need the presents to enjoy Christmas.
In Whoville, they say that the Grinch's small heart grew 3 sizes that day. The Grinch found the strength of 10 Grinches, plus 2.
Plus 2? What the hell does that mean? So anyway, he brings the presents back to Whoville, and all is well, and, happy ending. So overall, this is still one of my favorite Christmas movies. even if this version is only like a half hour long. Okay, so the Grinch. As I said, he hates Christmas, and he learns to accept, as I said, that, it's not about the gifts, it's not about, like, the toys, it's not about the decorations, it's not about the food, it's not about any of that. It's about, being with your family. It's about loving one another. And I love how the Nostalgia Critic said in that special I was just showing you that in the other versions of the story, they all like wake up and they're like, oh, where's the presents? Where's the presents? Where's the tree? Oh my God, what happened to the tree? No. That is pandering to what the Grinch wanted them to do. But in this version, they don't even notice that it's gone. He gives them back, and obviously, one of the reasons why they say that the Grinch hates Christmas is... Hold on, let me play it.
Most likely reasonable may have been that his heart was 2 sizes too small.
Wow. I guess size really does matter. Yeah, that's right, I made a dick joke. What of it? Anyway, so... he has his own theme song called You're a Mean One, Mr. Grinch. And fun fact, the guy singing it is the voice of Tony the Tiger. You're great. And apparently, he always had that voice. And he, even to the day that he died, he still had that voice. Speaking of voices, as I said, the Grinch is voiced by Boris Karloff, who's most famous for playing the very first Frankenstein. It's alive! It's alive! This character actually looks like Boris Karloff. Like, seriously, Google images of Boris Karloff and you'll see what I mean. Moving on to Max, the dog. Now, in the original book, he was just the expressive dog that was just, like, reacting to everything going on. But in this version, he plays a bigger part. He's very expressive.
They'll sing and they'll sing, 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 sing.
Can you get out of my face? Your breath stinks. And, of course, Cindy Lou Who. She's obviously the sweet, innocent child that, in the Jim Carrey version, she was basically the main character. She was a hero. And you get that vibe from her in this version, but it's really downplayed. Like, all she has to do is say, Santa Claus, why are you taking our Christmas tree? You get what she's about. It's fitting that at the end, during the feast,
The Grinch carved the roast beef.
she's the one he gives the very first part of the roast beef to. And he did bring the tree back. Yeah. So technically, he kept his word. There aren't very many characters in this version, mainly because, well, it's only a half hour long. But still, it really leaves an impression. I love the characters and I love the story. Alright, so what I didn't like was, in the very beginning...
Please don't ask why. No one quite knows the reason. It could be perhaps that his shoes were too tight.
The tightness of his shoes should not impact how he enjoys or doesn't enjoy Christmas. Okay, final thoughts. Obviously, I grew up loving the Grinch, and I'll be honest, when I was very young, like not even in preschool, I was actually afraid of the Grinch. Yeah, I thought he was real. Thankfully, I grew out of that very quickly, and now if you see my social medias, anytime that there's an inflatable Grinch thing, like in Walmart, I literally take a selfie with one of those. I literally have a selfie with my friend Drew from church, dressed as a Grinch. Yeah. And I poke fun at that, because he's a beloved character, because you really see the true meaning of Christmas. Like, it's all about being together. It's all about, yeah, sure, the presents are a big deal, and to some degree, but they're not the only thing. It's the thought that counts. It's, being around people you enjoy being around, and basically being around people that you tolerate for the most part. Those of you with annoying family members know what I'm talking about. But anyway, so overall, I love this movie, and while I still think the 2000s version is better because it has Jim Carrey, if y'all can find this, it's actually on YouTube. If y'all can find this on YouTube, I definitely recommend it because it's a classic, and it definitely gets you in the Christmas spirit. So, until next time, hope y'all have a very Merry Christmas. Until next time, stay positive and stay awesome, everyone. See ya.